Hey, it's Brian, the host and creator of Counterthought Podcast. I just wanted to jump into the studio real quick to make sure I give you my opinion, my thoughts about President Biden's announcement this week that he was going to choose the next Supreme Court justice to replace the current justice, Stephen Breyer, to be a black female, which is based on race and gender. Now, when you first heard that, you probably thought just like me, like race and gender. Where have I heard that before when it comes to employment? Oh yeah, every job you've ever had. Every job you've ever had, the employer is not allowed to discriminate employment hiring based on race and gender. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act makes that so. So why is Biden doing this, and why is he able, it seems like, to get away with it? Well, Biden's doing this because he is pandering to the progressive left of his party and pandering to the black Democratic vote that he has already secured, or at least secured in the last election. So yes, it is illegal to do what he is doing. There is no exception for the Supreme Court that says, oh, well, when it comes to the Supreme Court, you can make your decisions, your appointments, your nominations based on race and gender. That is not the case. The Supreme Court is subject to the same laws as a typical employer. Now, you may be thinking, oh, well, what about affirmative action? Well, affirmative action is actually being debated right now in the Supreme Court, but affirmative action present day applies to federal contractors and subcontractors. So businesses or people who are subcontracted work to do on behalf or for the federal government. So Biden has no protection here. And unfortunately, Biden is doing the same thing he did for his VP nomination and selection of Kamala Harris. You may remember on the campaign trail in 2020, he said that his VP was going to be a black female. Well, he said that same thing about if he had a Supreme Court justice nomination, that it would also be a black female. And he is holding true to that. Now, where the ACLU is, or some, individual person to file a lawsuit based on discrimination, I don't know. Well, I do know, but it's not going to happen. But what I don't understand, I do, but I don't, is what Biden is essentially doing, same thing he did with his VP selection. He's doing the same thing now. He is basically filtering all of the possible candidates to be black or female. Now, the best candidate for the nomination may be black and female, but why not just arrive there naturally? Why say publicly, hey, I am limiting myself to these choices? He is filtering out all of the other candidates. He's filtering out white men, white women, black men, Hispanic women, Native American men, Native American women, Asian men, Asian women. And if you know you want a black female nominee, don't say it in public. Because what he's doing is pure discrimination. What I wish is that President Biden and this administration would hold the offices of the vice presidency and a Supreme Court justice to the highest level, like the Mount Rushmore level of positions in this country that need to be based on merit. This is another example, which is a larger cultural problem in America, of selecting people based on factors other than merit. I am of the belief that someone needs to be chosen for a position based on merit or potential. There are some jobs where people just don't have the experience, but you know that they have the potential. And you, as the employer, have to be that first person to give them their experience. But the Supreme Court, again, that should be like one of the pinnacle of the positions where merit needs to be key, because we are talking about understanding the law of our country. And then not allowing yourself to be politically influenced or ideologically influenced when applying that law. This position needs to be based on the merits, not discriminating against hundreds of other candidates because you are just pandering to your parts of your base. This does no good for our country. And we need to continue, as we the people and the intelligent person that you are, to speak out and hold the administration accountable. Because if we're going to let this fly, as I talked about in episode 34 of my podcast this past week, the administrative state, we are just 1 or 2 Supreme Court nominations away, or just being apathetic and lazy ourselves as American citizens. We are just that small window or opportunity away from being in an administrative authoritarian state. And that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. I didn't phrase that well, so let me retry this. If we don't speak up and speak out and hold the administration accountable, whether it's this president or future presidents, and we allow this administration to do illegal activity by using the administrative powers that they have through these agencies of the federal government, or in this case, coming straight from the Oval Office, we are just a couple of decisions and nominations away from being in an administratively led authoritarian government. And that is not healthy for the United States of America, and that is not healthy for we the people.